Hello everyone, myself Sandhya Pawar and my presentation is about wind energy. In this presentation, I will explain about what is wind energy, then modern horizontal axis wind turbine, main component of horizontal axis wind turbine, wind characteristic, power output of wind turbine and a bed's limit, turbine controls and operation, wind farm, economics of a wind power and environmental impact and public acceptance. What is wind energy? As we all know, wind energy is a source of carbon-free and pollution-free renewable source of energy which can be generated when free-flowing wind hits the turbine blade and blade extracts all kinetic energy of the wind and convert it into electricity. The figure 1 shows aerial view of a wind power plant which show how a group of wind turbines make the electricity for the utility grid. This electricity is sent through distribution and transmission lines to the home, businesses and for the other purposes. There are two types of the wind turbine. The first one is vertical axis wind turbine which can be shown in second figure, and second one is horizontal axis wind turbine. The vertical axis wind turbine have main rotor shafts that arrange vertically. The main advantage of this vertical axis wind turbine is that it does not need to be pointed into the wind direction. The generator and other components placed near the ground so does not require tower to support it. But the main drawback of this arrangement is that it creates a drag when it rotated into the wind and its efficiency is too low. The second is horizontal axis wind turbine, which will be discussed in further. Modern horizontal axis wind turbine. The horizontal axis wind turbine has a similar design to a windmill. It has a blade that looks like a propeller that spins on a horizontal axis. In this figure, we will see all these components of horizontal axis wind turbine. The horizontal axis wind turbine designed with the large tip speed ratio to increase the power efficiency. The tip speed is the wind speed at blade tip. The blades of horizontal axis wind turbine are steep to prevent the blade from being pushed into the tower by high wind. The blades are placed at a considerable distance in front of the tower and sometimes they are tilted by small amount. The components of horizontal axis wind turbine will discuss further in detail. Now let's see which are the main components of horizontal axis wind turbine. The first main component is the rotor. The rotor consists of the blade and the hub. Let's see first blade. Blade is used to extract kinetic energy of a wind and convert it into mechanical energy. These blades are made up of wood, aluminium, fiberglass, reinforced polyester. Wind turbine have one or two or three blades. Most of the horizontal axis wind turbine have three blades. One side of the blade is curved while other side is flat. The wind flows more quickly along that curved edge and create a pressure difference on either side. Then the blades are pushed by the air and equalize the pressure difference, and because of which blades are run. The second component is hub. The rotor hub is used to couple the blade and the shaft. The hub assembly consists of hub, bolt, blade bearing and the pitch shifting. The rotor hub are made up of welded sheet steel and the cast iron. The most important component of horizontal axis wind turbine is nacelle. Nacelle is a housing that contains all the components that is necessary to operate the turbine efficiently. It is situated at top of the tower and includes gearbox, generator, controller, low speed shaft, high speed shaft, brake, anemometer and wind tunnel. Let's discuss all these components in detail one by one. The first one is gearbox. The gearbox are used to change low speed, high torque power that coming from blade to high speed, low torque power which used for the generator. It connected between main shaft and the generator shaft to increase the rotational speed from about 30 to 60 rpm to about 1000 to 1800 rpm. Gearbox are made from superior quality of aluminum alloys, stainless steel and the cast iron. The next one is generator. The rotational mechanical energy of gearbox is connected to generator through generator shaft. Generator used to convert mechanical energy, that is wind energy, into electrical energy. The generator is attached to one end of the turbine which provides mechanical energy and other end is connected to the electricity grid. The generator need to have cooling system to make sure that there is no overheating. The next one is controller. Controller, also called as brain of the turbine. It maintains condition of the turbine and control the pitch and the yaw system to extract optimum power. It gets the data from anemometer. The next one is low speed shaft. Low speed shaft connected between the blade hub and input to the gearbox. It rotated at the low speed, so we call them as a low speed shaft. The next one is high speed shaft. High speed shaft connected between gearbox output to the generator input. It rotated at high speed. Brake. Brake is a mechanical part that connected to high speed shaft to reduce the rotational speed or to stop the wind turbine overspeeding or to stop the turbine in emergency condition. Anemometer. Anemometer is an instrument which used to measure the wind speed and it located on top of the nacelle. Wind vane. Wind vane is used to measure the wind direction and it communicated with the yaw system to orient the turbine properly with respect to the wind direction. The third important component of horizontal axis wind turbine is the yaw system. Yaw system is a component which is responsible for rotation of the wind turbine rotor towards the wind. It means of a routable connection between rotors and the nacelles. Yaw system consists of yaw bearing, yaw drive and the yaw brake. Let's discuss these three one by one. First, see what is yaw bearing. Yaw bearing is the main component of yaw system. It can be of a roller or gliding type and serve as a routable connection between nacelles and the tower. Then second one is yaw drive. Yaw drive is used to keep the rotor facing towards the wind as the wind direction changes. It exists only on active yaw system, means it is active rotation of the wind turbine nacelles. Next, see what is yaw brake. To stabilize the yaw bearing against the rotation, a braking is necessary, means a constant small counter torque is applied at a yaw drive. But this constant torque reduces the reliability of the electric yaw drive, so hydraulic actuated disc brake is commonly used. The fourth important component of horizontal axis wind turbine is tower. Tower is a physical structure that holds the wind turbine. It supports the rotor, nacelle, blade and other wind turbine equipment. Typical commercial wind turbine towers are usually 50 to 120 meter long and are constructed from concrete or reinforced steel. The height of tower is important factor in designing of horizontal axis wind turbine because the wind speed increases with the height. So taller tower enables the turbine to capture more energy and generate more electricity, which also reduces the turbulence in the wind. There are two types of tower exist. The first one is floating tower as seen in figure 1. They can be seen in offshore wind farm, and second one is land based tower as seen in second figure, which can be seen in onshore wind farm. As we all experience that wind speed in any location varies with the time, and this variation affects the amount of power in the wind and load felt by the turbine. In order to establish a wind power plant, the study of wind in that location is necessary. Following are some wind characteristics which help in understand the wind speed and its other properties. The first characteristic is steady wind speed. Steady wind speed is nothing but average of wind speed value over a period of 10 minutes. The fluctuation about this steady value is called turbulence intensity. This turbulence intensity defined as ratio of standard deviation sigma t of a wind speed to steady wind speed. This standard deviation increases, so steady wind speed also increases, and the turbulence intensity depend on terrain and height. The steady wind speed is characterized by its persistence and frequency distribution. The another characteristic is persistence. Persistence of a wind is important in estimating the dependability of generated wind power. The dependence of a wind speed on height is given by the formula U of z is equal to us into z upon zs raised to alpha s, where alpha s is the wind shear coefficient and zs is the height at which wind speed is us. This wind shear coefficient depends on various factors. It shows large variation over 24-hour period. It changes less than 0.15 during the night and greater than 0.5 during the day. This variation is because of at night time the surface temperature is decreases as ground loses the heat by the radiation. So lower part of atmosphere is cooler than the upper part of atmosphere. So air in these two parts does not mix, so shear value is high. But during the day, the ground surface is heated by the sunlight, so air in upper part and lower part is mixed and reduces the shear. Now let's see how we find the power output of a wind turbine. The power in a wind is given by the formula Pw is equal to 1/2 A rho cube of average wind speed, where A is the swept area, U is the wind speed and rho is the air density. The swept area is given by the formula pi r square, that is area of a circle which is swept by the rotor. So average output power is given by P naught is equal to 0.15 d square cube of average wind speed, where d is the turbine diameter. Now discuss one of the important parameters in calculation of the wind power called as the Betz limit. Betz limit is a theoretical maximum efficiency for the wind turbine given by German physicist Albert Betz, and Betz concludes that this value is 59.3%, means that at most only 59.3% of kinetic energy from wind can be used to spin the turbine and generate electricity. In reality, turbine cannot reach to the Betz limit, and common efficiency are in the range of 35 to 40% range. The plot of power coefficient versus heat speed is shown, which also explains that power coefficient always less than the Betz limit. The wind turbine work by the slowing down passing wind and extract its energy. If wind turbine was 100% efficient, then all the wind would have to stop upon contact with the turbine. That's not possible by looking at the turbine. So Betz criteria always used in power calculation of the wind turbine. To generate electrical energy from wind, the wind turbine need to control to optimize its output. So turbine must oriented in wind direction that can be achieved using yaw control mechanism. Wind provides driving torque to electrical generator, and current flowing in the generator produce opposing torque. When we ignoring the friction, both the torque are equal in steady operation. In order to increase aerodynamic efficiency, they use variable speed, variable pitch machine and generate electricity using AC, DC, AC converter. The graph of output power versus wind speed is shown below. From the graph, both the speed of rotation and pitch of the blade can alter, and power allowed to optimize when the speed is above the minimum speed. The minimum speed is required to start the turbine. At rated speed, the turbine produces maximum power. As we further increases the speed, the power remains constant. The turbine speed can change by changing the generator torque in U-cutting and U-rated region. The turbine can be stopped by application of a shaft brake. The specific energy output is defined as the output power per unit of swept area, and it is useful when we comparing turbine with different size or with different designs. Wind farm. Wind farm is a collection of wind turbines within a region that is used to generate electricity. Wind farm may be very large, covering areas of hundreds of square miles. Wind farm requires fairly consistent wind flow traveling at just right speed. So it is important to analyze the prevailing wind in given region in order to determine ideal spot to place a wind farm. Also, environmental impact of building the farm is also considered. Once the location is selected, then turbine is placed about 3 to 10 rotor diameter apart from each other. Suitable location where we site the turbine is mountain gap, high altitude plains, exposed ridges and the coastal area. ASEAN leads the electricity generation by means of wind, with China alone having installed capacity of 1,88,400 megawatt as of 2017. China makes up over 80% of the installed capacity of ASEAN and contains some of the world's largest wind farms. The United States is the second leading country in wind power capacity, with capacity of approximately 19,000 megawatt, which only about half of the China. Here I am discussing the wind farm in some of the states in India in detail. The first one is Mupandal Wind Farm, Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu. Mupandal is a small village in Kanyakumari district of Tamil Nadu and one of the important sites of wind farm in the state. It uses wind from Arabian Sea to produce renewable energy with total capacity of 1500 megawatt, which is largest in India. The second one is Jaisalmer Wind Park, Rajasthan. Jaisalmer Wind Park is the largest operational wind farm in India, located at Amarsagar in Jaisalmer district of Rajasthan. Its installed capacity is 1064 megawatt. The next one is Tupadhali Wind Farm, Karnataka. The 56.1 megawatt power project produces 140 gigawatt hour of clean energy per annum. And the next one is Brahmanwel Wind Farm, Dhule, Maharashtra. The wind power project at Brahmanwel in Dhule district of Maharashtra has 32 wind turbines with installed capacity of 528 megawatt. There are many more wind farms in state of Maharashtra as wind power facility in Sangli and Ratnagiri wind farm, etc. The graph shows installed wind power capacity in India over the year, and from graph we say that the installed wind power capacity in India is increases over the year, means we use more renewable energy. Difference between onshore and offshore wind turbine. Let's first discuss onshore wind turbine. Advantages of onshore wind turbine are as follows. It requires cheaper foundation, easily integrated with the electrical grid network, cheaper installation and access during construction phase, operated and maintained easily. And the disadvantages are negative visual impact or noise, limited availability of the land, noise pollution, affected to more turbulence. Now discuss offshore wind turbine. And the advantages of offshore wind turbine are as follows. Less affected to turbulence in wind and low wind shear, noise pollution is less. And the disadvantages are installation is much more complex and costly, Connection to the utility grid is also complex and expensive. Operational and maintenance is also a complex task with the offshore wind turbine. Economics of wind power. It depends on capital cost to build the turbine. The ongoing cost to run the turbine is called operational and maintenance cost, and revenue from the sale of electrical energy produced over lifetime of the turbine. The capital cost of the machine range from 1.5 million to 2.6 million per megawatt in Europe, USA and Japan, but these costs are around 1 million per megawatt in India. The operational and maintenance cost for land-based sites and the offshore site is given in table below. The large cost of offshore sites is due to higher wind speed. The Energy Information Administration have estimated the cost of energy from various sources in 2016 as given in table below. Advantages of wind power. Let's discuss all these advantages one by one. The first one is wind power is a cost effective. The land-based utility scale wind is one of the lowest priced energy sources that are available today. The electricity from wind farm is sold at a fixed rate over long period of time, and as we know its fuel is free. The second one is it produces no global warming gases nor any pollution. No water is required for the wind power. The fourth one is it creates a job. The wind turbine technician is one of the fastest growing jobs nowadays. According to Wind Vision report, wind has potential to support more jobs in manufacturing, installation, maintenance and supporting services by 2015. The fifth one is wind is a domestical source of energy, and the last one is it's sustainable. As we know, wind is actually a form of solar energy, and wind are caused by the heating of atmosphere by the sun and rotation of the earth and the earth's surface irregularity. So as long as the sun shines and wind blows, the wind energy can be produced. Now discuss the environmental impact and the public acceptance. Before making any new wind farm, a full environmental impact assessment is undertaken, during which all the positive and negative aspects of the project is considered. All the environmental aspects that are adversely affected are identified, and we find a new way by which this negative impact can be minimized. As we all know, wind farms are actively developed because they are a source of renewable energy, produce no pollution, and also water is not necessary. To gain high wind speed, turbines are situated on ridge. As we know, offshore wind farm is best, but only care should be taken that it should not interfere with the radar installation. The main negative aspects of the wind farm is that many birds were killed in the region of the turbine. So care should be taken to reduce the bird mortality from the turbine by avoiding migratory flight path or the key habitat. As we know, large space of land is required for the wind farm, so we use the space between the turbines for grazing and for growing crops. Noise is also one of the problems, but that can be reduced by improving blade designs. Thank you.